I'm going to give you highlights of this story. It's in a lot of newspapers, but I think the version of Erastus Asaridonko captures it for me. So I'm going to read that for you. He posted this 8 hours ago. Director of Operations of NIMOS attacked by thugs led by a sitting member of parliament. I'm reading unedited. On Saturday, 1st November 2025, the Director of Operations of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat NIMOS, accompanied by 10 soldiers, conducted a reconnaissance mission in the Afafo region. The objective was to identify a suitable location for the permanent deployment of a NIMOS field task force in line with Secretariat's strategic plan to sustain anti-illegal mining operations. While traveling along the Goso to Hwidiam Highway, the director's attention was drawn to an excavator engaged in mining along the roadside near Bronichrome. The team diverted to the location and apprehended several individuals actively mining. The director instructed the suspects to refill the pits they had dug to prevent further environmental degradation. The director then ordered one of the arrested persons to call the site owner. The first individual to arrive identified himself as a defense intelligence representative from the Afo region. Shortly after, an individual named Alex arrived in a Toyota RAV4, arrogantly claiming ownership of the site. Another man arrived later in a Range Rover and was also arrested. While at it, the NIMOS Field Task Force set ablaze shelters used as offices and shelters by the illegal miners. A search of the suspects' vehicles led to a shocking discovery. The team found one Smith & Wesson pistol, 2 pistol magazines and 21 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 12 assorted mobile phones, a black side bag, cash amounting to 11,000 Ghana cedis, 1 power bank, and a Lexus ignition key. While arrangements were being made to convey the suspect to the Hwidiam police station, the Member of Parliament for Esuatifi North, Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado, arrived at the scene with several thugs. The MP indicated that he was sent by Honorable Collins Dauda, MP for the area, and demanded that the director releases the arrested kingpins, including a Burkinabe, immediately and remove their handcuffs, arguing that they did not want the locals to see them in handcuffs. The director politely declined the unlawful request, maintained that the arrests were appropriate and that the right procedure be followed through to the police. Subsequently, the MP and the thugs became violent and forcefully snatched the handcuff keys from one of the soldiers and took the handcuffs off the kingpins before chasing the NIMOS team while going to the police station. Upon arrival at the Hwidiam police station to lodge a report and hand over the suspects and exhibits, a crowd of about 600 people from Hwidiam and nearby communities surrounded the police station. The mob, incited by Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado, demanded the immediate release of the arrested suspects and seized vehicle. They warned that they would discipline the soldiers if their demands were ignored. The situation quickly turned more violent. The director of operations' Toyota Hilux pickup was vandalized, and the mob threatened to burn down the police station, even when the MP was reminded to call his mob to order. The tense standoff created a serious threat to life and property, placing immense pressure on both the director of operations and the police officers on duty. Responding to a distress call, Chief Superintendent Prince Odom Kodua, the Ahafo Regional Crime Officer, led a 15-member regional task force headed by Inspector Ofosu to reinforce the local police. They were supported by Superintendent John Atanga, Divisional Commander for Goso, Superintendent Opoku Yamua, District Commander for Kenyase, and other senior officers. Even with the reinforcements, the atmosphere remained extremely volatile. The Zongo chief of Hwidiam, Alhaji Mohammed Bashiru Zariki, stepped in and appealed to the crowd to remain calm. However, as night approached and power went out, tensions heightened further. To prevent bloodshed and protect lives, a joint decision was made by the police, the military, and the Zongo chief to release the keys to the seized vehicles in order to calm the crowd. The Zongo chief then offered his Toyota Sequoia 4x4 to evacuate Colonel Bua, the director of operations, and his officers to safety at the Newmont site in Kenyase under police escort. During the evacuation, the soldiers were physically attacked, and the chief's vehicle's rear windscreen, the Zongo chief's vehicle's rear windscreen, was shattered. Thankfully, no injuries were recorded. The director of operations described the MP's actions to influence the release of the suspects as unfortunate and a serious obstruction of NIMOS operations, and emphasized that the fight against illegal mining requires all citizens, especially influential figures in the society, to act on the side of the law, not to shield offenders or incite rogues to obstruct justice as happened at Hwidiam. Meanwhile, the NIMOS officials, including the director, were safely escorted out of the chaotic situation unharmed due to the professional and tactful management of the crisis by the director and the HWDM for police. NIMOS remains poised despite the unfortunate incident and wants all galamseyers to desist from any such acts in the future. The Director of Operations reiterated that the efforts to combat illegal mining will continue regardless to help clean Ghana's waters and forests as well as restore sanity to the mining space. So the way this is written, it appears to be the narration from NIMOS because of the way it ends. But I find it on a colleague journalist page, putting everything together. So people of Ghana, this is what is happening in our country. 600 people supervised by a member of parliament attack a colonel who leads our anti-illegal mining operation task force together with 10 soldiers and policemen. And if it wasn't for the intervention of the Zongo chief and the reinforcement from Goso, we would have had a different situation on our hands this morning. So that is the story for... The song I actually need is not how you are playing. Oh, yeah, Mojata. That's the song. That's the song. What you are playing, I don't know what you are playing.
I'm sure he's playing Babylon.
No. This is Jata. This is crazy. And then the story then is accompanied by photos of the arrested individuals who were doing the illegal mining in the first place. Right? So it took the intervention of a local chief and police reinforcement to prevent what could have been the killing of Colonel Bua and 10 soldiers and the police at the HWDM police station. And this is Saturday 1st November. And the person who led the mob is the MP, according to the story, of Esutifi North.
I have questions.
First point, he's not the same as the Reverend Kwekudua, who is your MP.
Yeah,
Reverend Kwekudua.
I know. I have questions. I am hoping, maybe not questions. I am hoping we get an official statement from NIMOS on this. This happened on Saturday. Today is Monday. So we can say Sunday they were not working. But today is a working day. So it will be instructive to get a statement from NIMOS to give us a recall or a narration, of this particular encounter.
Yes.
One. Not because Erastus's account is not to be trusted, but because we need an official.
Because his account aligns with our account on City. It accounts on about 3 newspaper accounts. But you are right.
Yes.
We want an official sign.
You see, because and I'll make a point about why I'm saying we want an official statement from this. Because once NIMOS makes an official statement, it allows us to then stand and say, this person has been mentioned. This person has been mentioned. That person has been mentioned. We have seen some of these incidents happen before. Hanabisu, who is the MIF or one of those, she's head of something these days.
Minerals Development
Fund. Had a similar encounter a while back. I don't know whether there was an official statement on that and what the fallout was, because it was a very bad situation. In fact,
can you remind us?
Yes, she and her group and her police units that were also looking into these matters arrested some persons and got their vehicles blocked by policemen and some persons who, according to her narration, were working at the behest of the assembly member in the area. We don't know if the assembly member was prosecuted. We don't know whether he was arrested. We don't know whether he was questioned. We don't know what the status of that whole encounter is. You see, and the reason why I'm saying we need an official statement is it then allows us to do proper follow-ups rather than just leave it as an event or a big story. You see, because processes must follow this. Because all kinds of persons get mentioned in this. Most of them tend to be state officials or public officials who are working on the black side of things. You recall the Manso Botesi issue a couple of months ago. 5 people were injured when the IGP's task force then, at the time, basically had to fight their way through a town, who said that this is not a place you enter and that this is what we do here. Again, in that incident, an assembly member was mentioned. We don't know whether he has been jailed, whether he's facing prosecution. We don't get to follow these things, or we don't know whether the state actually takes up these incidents to punish people. You understand? Or they just happen and then we discuss it in some back room somewhere and it's gone. So we need NIMOS to give us an official statement. We need the Ghana Armed Forces to give us an official statement, because the NIMOS boss is a colonel in the army. He's a serving colonel in the army. Again, there were military persons involved.
10 of them.
10 of them who came under attack. So what does the Ghana Armed Forces have to say about this? Because the Ghana Armed Forces definitely has to talk to its people.
Because 11 of your people were nearly...
They could have died on Saturday.
We could have had the Major Muhammad on our
Yes,
hands.
we could have had 11 people dead on Saturday.
Then the police must also issue a
The
statement.
police must also issue a statement.
Yeah.
Because if you go through Erastus's account of this,
crazy.
We had all kinds of senior policemen having to run over to the place with reinforcements. So we need a statement. We need a statement from Honorable Ebenezer Kwekwado.
Yes.
To explain what he was doing there. What is his version of the story?
Yeah.
You see, once we get all these statements together, it then allows us to make sense.
So we can get a 3D view.
A 3D view
of this matter.
Of this particular matter.
But on the basis of what you've heard so far, what do you think?
I am completely scandalized, and I am telling you that. And again, we'll tell you, no matter what we do, the battle is too hard. When the phone call was made, according to Erastus's account, who was the first person to show up?
The MP.
No.
What do you mean? After the MP came?
No. When they made the arrest, the people on the site were told, make a phone call to the site owner. Mm-hmm. The first person who showed up is somebody who is alleged to be a national security operative. He's a DI, Defense Intelligence.
Yes, that's what he called himself.
Yes, he called himself. Defense Intelligence. What is the Defense Intelligence man doing there? So Defense Intelligence, come and explain.
Why your man is there not working for the state but working for some other
When NIMOS says we are looking for who owns the site, the first person who shows up
is a Defense
Intelligence operative. And just to wrap this up before Edwin comes in, my first part on this, I'll be back. We need to clarify the security architecture of this country.
It's getting very complicated.
There are a lot of national security persons.
Charlie.
Everybody is national security, which is national security.
You might even last week.
Caleb is national security.
They said some people had said they were national security.
National security and had been arrested.
And they were then sort of released or something.
Yes.
They were not punished. They were just released because they had done an illegal operation.
National security seems to have become this caricature,
amorphous thing that
you can just misbehave in this country and simply lay claim to
national security.
We need to clarify it, because if they are not careful, they are going to cause a lot of problems. So they need to sort that one out.
So for now, the DI name there is a national security.
Yes, Defense Intelligence is probably military.
And he was the first person to show up.
He was the first person to show up before
when the arrests were made.
Yes. He was the first person to show up when they were asked to call the site owner, followed by the chap in the RAF4.
Who then claims he owns the site.
Who then showed up.
Obviously emboldened.
Alex.
There's a DI guy working with him.
Yes. Then a Range Rover chap arrived as well after Alex showed up.
But if they can do this to the NIMOS commander who is a colonel, what hope will a small DC in a town have against galamseyers?
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Yet they said they don't want to do state of emergency. That we should. They are fighting the galamsey.
I'm watching. Here's the thing. These are the things that let us know whether we want to push forward with this or not.
Yeah, this is serious.
We will wait for the statements.
A couple of comments I'm getting on this galamsey thing is really troubling. If you don't take care, we are creating our own Niger Delta situation with galamsey enclaves. which will soon become no-go zones. Because if the national coordinator of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operation Team, NIMOS, is essentially attacked by a mob of angry people from a town where he's arrested people for engaging in illegal mining, and they are demanding the release of the arrested people, and the people have the effrontery to surround the police station, chase the NIMOS team all the way to the police station, surround the police station, and demand the release of arrested people. And according to the report, under the instigation of a sitting member of parliament, then this fight is not going to win. We're not going to win it anytime soon.
Yeah, the member of parliament, I even forgot to add, parliament should also be.
So you've called for 4 things. You said number 1,
Yes.
NIMOS should issue a statement. Number
NIMOS should
2,
issue a
the armed
statement.
forces should issue a statement.
Police,
Should issue a statement. And number 4,
national security should issue a statement.
because of the presence of the DI.
The DI, and now parliament should also. There's a privileges committee, isn't there? Or
Yeah,
there's
so
another body that can
the-
invite.
the-
The speaker can call him, right?
Yeah,
to say
ethics.
what's up.
There's a new committee in the revised
Standing
or the
orders.
new standing orders, which deals with conducts specifically falling outside, the chamber. So let me basically tell you about that. So if you watch the standing orders, the specific provision engaged is under standing order 231, which says that Committee on Ethics and Standards, the committee shall ensure that members discharge their duties in an ethical manner with a high sense of integrity and moral character, and shall investigate any alleged violation of the code of conduct. Now, this basically establishes jurisdiction over all matters of ethical conduct or misconduct by MPs, including misbehavior outside of the chamber. Then you also have the Privileges Committee, which is also there. Then you go to the specific, the code of conduct that our MPs passed. There are a number of, sections or clauses or rules.
So can you repeat what you said? You said what's the name of the thing you read?
It is the committee responsible for ethics and standards.
Okay.
Which committee shall ensure that members discharge their duties in an ethical manner with a high sense of integrity and moral character, and shall investigate any alleged violation of the code of conduct.
So there is room for parliament to have a conversation with him about
Exactly.
his alleged involvement in this matter.
Yes. If you look at clause 3.0 up until 5.0, there are specific requirements as to how members of parliament are to behave. So, for instance, general principles of conduct. MPs must exhibit selfless integrity, accountability, honesty, openness, and leadership. Now, it will be argued that violence and the obstruction of justice violate these foundational principles, if it is the case that he actually was there and did what he's accused of doing. Then also there is an opposition by clause 4.2, which has to do with the Constitution and the laws of the Republic. A member of parliament shall protect the Constitution, respect the spirit and letter of the laws of Ghana. The people who were there were acting for and on behalf of the president, who has constitutional mandate to protect, our natural resources, which he holds in trust for us. So if he allegedly, as we are told, and the facts bear that out, commanded people to beat up these people, he would have been in violation of the constitutional provision engaged. Then there's also clause 4.5. Performance of official duties and outside activities. The requirement is that a member of parliament shall not engage in any business or activity which might conflict with the conscientious performance of his or her parliamentary duties. Now, the question is whether, mobilizing the youth, allegedly, to attack people who were there to protect our water bodies would fall in line with what your conscientious responsibility to be. And the last two, private gain. Now, clause 4.6 says a member shall not use his or her office for private gain or the advancement of associates. So, is it the case that the people involved in this illegal mining are somehow connected to the member of parliament in question? If they are connected to him, was he using what he did allegedly, to advance the interests of these private members or private people who were engaging in an illegality. If that is the case and the facts bear that out, then again his conduct will be engaged by what do you call it, provision. And then finally, honor and dignity of Parliament. Clause 4.9 says a member shall conduct himself in a manner that reflects creditably on the House and shall not bring Parliament into disrepute. The question is if what he did, by all the standards expected of a member of Parliament, he's engaged that provision.
See, Bernard, the reason why I'm going along this tangent, and I will be very consistent with this until I get what I'm looking for, is there's a big opportunity. Although I have expressed my pessimism about this whole fight against galamsey, there's a big opportunity that this situation presents. It presents a big opportunity for the state to reinforce its promise to deal with the matter. And by doing so, use this incident to send a message that NIMOS is our arm. And if you touch NIMOS, you will get problems. Because if they don't,
then this
the message
empowers
it
other people
empowers
that
others.
These
people
the
that
NIMOS commander
who went
here,
you understand? And there are people who, let's not kid ourselves, there are areas where people would take pride in the fact that they were the ones who faced off against the army, who faced off against the police, who threw stones at the NIMOS director and he ran away. So somebody will look to replicate it. So there's a big opportunity here to give NIMOS standing in this fight against galamsey. That should not be missed. Hold me. The second opportunity that this provides is, I have made the call that we are not dealing with enough big personalities when it comes to this fight against galamsey. In order for these kinds of things to work, if you look at the world over, you see a study of all the situations or scenarios that are close to this, where the state is waging a battle against elements, you almost always need a big name to attach.
Yes.
As an example.
To send a message.
This could be it. If they've been missing it.
Trying to say this is an opportunity in disguise.
It's an opportunity in disguise, and we hope the state does not miss that opportunity. Which is why I'm saying we need all these people to come out
to confirm the details.
Officially confirm this particular one. We'll not let it go.
Because if this one is confirmed, then it is very serious.
Yeah, we'll not let it go. But if they don't, it becomes like what happened at Manso Botinasi, where 5 people were critically injured or some even died. People were attacked. The IGP's representative was attacked. He was injured. We don't know what happened. Or it could become another Dr. Hanabisu case where she's going to arrest some Chinese galamseyers. And there were videos of this banner. They basically blocked her truck.
A state official.
They blocked her car. That get the people out of the car, release them to us, or you are not going. We don't know what happened after. She has not come to brief us because there's no official statement on these things. And I think we need to force the system to start normalizing an official account of these things. It's important.
Yes.
The official accounts of these things cannot just be newspaper reports, cannot just be what journalists have reported, because it helps us to chase transparency and accountability.
Correct.
Because on this day, Ghana Armed Forces said that. On that day, the police corroborated and said this. The government of Ghana says this. We need these things to become a part and parcel of this so-called war against galamsey that is currently being waged.
8:33 City Breakfast Show. We are making strenuous efforts to reach officials of NIMOS to comment on this, officials of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, officials of the security agencies, and indeed the MP mentioned in the matter. We are still trying to bring some reaction to this. Let me read a couple of comments that have come in. It says, "Good morning, Bernard and crew. The galamsey incident you are discussing shows how deeply the political class, some security persons, and some chiefs are involved. We can't rely on the people on these same people to fight galamsey. Organized unions, student unions, professional bodies, market women should go on strike. This is the only way we can get the government to act decisively. Good morning, brother and team. In fact, the president must speak to the nation within 24 hours concerning this matter. I watched the video and I was so much annoyed that, Charlie, the president must speak immediately. The MP must be brought to book ASAP. Godfred is right. Let NIMOS make official statements so the president responds immediately. Wisdom from Goma Akotse. Good morning, team. This matter should not end here. The authorities should use the video available to identify the individual involved so they can be prosecuted, including the MP, Frank in Dakuman. McDonald Bruce from Dakuman.
He's unhappy with me.
Can you tell Godfrey to stop referring to the MP as honorable? There's nothing honorable about the actions. You should now bow your head and say, okay, he was just making it as a reference to how we call our MPs. Good morning and team. People in mining areas see galamsey as a way of life, and any attempt to stop them is seen as an attack on their source of livelihood. Until we use the resources in the communities to improve the standards of living of the locals, we will keep fighting galamsey until Judgment Day. And as a Ghanaian who has given up on Ghana, I can say without fear that no politician has what it takes to fight galamsey. I want to make a quick connection before I bring Sky. You know, around this same area in Ahafo North, which is a Sutifi North, Newmont opened a $900 million Ahafo mine project. The CEO of Newmont, Tony Palmer, has been speaking about what makes Ghana a stable mining jurisdiction, offering stability agreements that allow firms to lock in royalties for 5 to 15 years. You see some of the things that sometimes the locals also hear and they are not happy.
They get angry.
Now, this is part of the context, right? And I'm not blaming Newmont for this. I'm just reading a story. So Newmont has invested heavily in Ahafo North. So now they are Ahafo South and Ahafo North, close to $1 billion. And it stressed the need for a regime that is fair and transparent. If not, capital will go elsewhere, right? Now, Ghana has ordered some audits of mining firms. I think you saw this story a couple of days ago, including Newmont. And basically, we are told that the state wants to check if the revenues we have accrued over the past 5 or so years have actually come to the state properly, whether the companies have paid the right tax. We're also told that Ghana is pushing for greater control of natural resources amid a global commodity boom. Newmont now operates 2 mines in Ghana, Ahafo South and Ahafo North. We know that they sold the Achim mine to China's Xinjiang last year. There clearly is a lot of gold in the country still to be mined, and this is considered to be legitimate mining business. Now, this is the same Ahafo that we are having this incident. And in fact, it was Newmont site that the people were rescued and sent to. The colonel and the 10 soldiers and the police, they were eventually sent to Newmont's operation site for relief because the people were threatening to finish them. So the government has a decision to make, all right, between attracting mining investment, keeping the nation stable, fighting illegal mining, but also making sure that the revenues from mining, which from official usage, are used appropriately to help local communities. Because it's like we're seeing two related developments, right? You're investing 100 million in a mine, yet down the road, some people are attacking state officials because 2 galamseyers have been arrested for doing illegal mining near a roadside. Clearly, we have a problem in the country in the mining sector. All right, let's read the final comment, Caleb, and I'll move something.
So the reason the fight against galamsey will not be achieved is because of the double standards played by our duty bearers, i.e. the politicians. You see, they appear on media platforms and preach virtue, but when they go to the grounds and meet their locals, they encourage them to practice vice simply because they need their votes. Until something urgent is done, we will get nowhere. Gaudi sent that from Tema.
All right, so while we summarize this, I'm going to go to some Sky. I just wonder your quick thought on, Godfred is saying that this is, even though it's such an unfortunate incident, it's also a big opportunity for the government to use this to send a clear signal that they will not allow any community or individuals to go foul of the law in this brazen way. Do you agree that if nothing is done, this empowers or this sort of immobilizes the anti-galamsey fight?
Well, I agree with him fully. except to say that I'm worried that there is very little or nothing at all will happen. Even if something is done, it will be just to pepper over the cracks, pretend that something is being done, and at the end of the day, nothing will come out of it. I take the view that even if we get Parliament involved, which is one of the things that we should do as part of the effort to exact accountability, a report may well be prepared, but that report will most likely not be debated on the floor of the House. It will be kept in abeyance until the life of this Parliament expires, as we've seen with similar other cases of misconduct on the part of members of Parliament. Indeed, if the claims are true and the facts are there to back it, then there will be requirement or need for criminal prosecution, because the people who were there to sort of protect our water bodies were acting for and on behalf of the president, who, as I stated much earlier, is holding these resources in trust for us. So to attempt to prevent people from just discharging their lawful duty, which duty they were performing for and on behalf of the state, criminal, prosecution would have to flow from that if the facts do support that. Now, the question is whether the Attorney General, which the institution responsible under Article 88 of the Constitution for prosecuting criminal conducts like this, will have the kahunas to go after this member of Parliament, who is a member of Parliament on the ticket of the governing NDC, and we are told that some other big shot within the party is linked to this particular matter. All those links would have to be properly, unearthed. And if the facts support the position that people take that the MP actually did this, then of course there would have to be prosecution. But I doubt very much.
You are not
be
optimistic.
Anything, no, I don't. I honestly don't believe that.
Why are you
Anything meaningful.
No, Bernard, because we've lost such golden opportunities in the past. There's been such seminal moments where you think that, as for this, it is such an impetus for the government to take a bolder action for us to see something. But what we see rather is the government then calling CSOs and discussing what they are planning or what they are doing, and then letting them know their challenges. Don't forget that the minister responsible for the sector told us that there is no war chest for this fight, actually.
Yeah.
So if you remember that and you put that against what this is, I would be concerned if I were a relation of any of the security men who are on those grounds, because we know that they are not properly resourced to fight this, and then we also know that persons who are supposed to be representatives of the state in such regions, when push gets to shove, they will back their locals against these people who are representing the state in the fight of what is collectively ours. So the pessimism is real. People are not just being cynical. The inactions and actions of the government have calcified into this state that we are. But it's a fine opportunity, as Godfred has said, for the government to strike the iron while it's hot. It's yet again another opportunity. Whether they'll fail is
Dr.
another thing.
Omane Boama, bless his memory, and his colleagues. Many people are resigning to some, what do you call it? What's the word? Like that they perished in vain in service of this republic.
That's painful.
The Major Mahama, under similar circumstances, was doing something about Galamsey, perished. Many people have resigned to, maybe he died in vain.
Sad.
Hannah BCU's issue that you mentioned, it was brazen. They had gone to arrest people they were trying to take out of that community. These guys went, blocked the road. It took a lot of effort to be able to get, Hannah BCU and her people out of that place. As we speak, to the best of our knowledge, nothing has been done to bring these people to justice. We are told that some proper mind was working. A member of parliament, allegedly belonging to the governing side, led tags to go and seize the place, sent, the people who were lawfully mining in the space away, and they seized the place, instructed ECG to provide the new landlords over the place so that they could do illegal mining. These matters have come to the attention of national security, the presidency, the ministers who are responsible for the space. Parliament is aware by reason of legislative notice.
What are they afraid of?
It's Galamsey.
It's hard not to think that people are neck deep in this.
I think
It's
that's
hard not to
why are
think
they
that
afraid?
people-
So because Sky, I was at a program in I think April or so. The leadership of Parliament organized an event for the Minister for Lands. Speaker of Parliament was there, Vice President was there. Almost 200 MPs. And the Minister of Mines came to explain why he needed the support of MPs in the fight against galamsey. The MP whose name has been mentioned, Sutufi North, was there. He was even on a panel to talk about mining. He was
That's
there.
a good one.
He was on a panel. I remember clearly. So
You
I
saw
even, I
him.
even asked him.
Fidi Gadochi.
I asked him.
Gauta Ganama.
So I met Godfrey's MP. Then I said, I thought you were Kwekuado. There's another Kwekuado. Then so there are two different Kwekuados. So this is, and they said he's from a mining committee. So he even came on the panel to speak about how they were dealing with the issues and whatever, what was not. So I think that if the president is serious about the galamsey fight, we need to see it this week in relation to this incident, because the part of the video we've seen, our men in uniform were literally smuggled or shoved into a 4x4 vehicle belonging to the chief, the Zongo chief, and the people smashed the back windscreen.
Yeah.
If it's only God,
They would have died.
it's only God, because the number of people who were standing there and the way they were dressed and the mask
Carrying
they were
sticks,
wearing,
clubs and things according to the report.
and you are seeing state officials working for the country, and you are not afraid to attack them.
They're running for their lives.
This guy, sometimes when the military does certain things, we say they are going overboard. But if you're a soldier who sees such a thing, if your state will not deploy for you to fight galamsey, what's the point of going for the training? Because if I am a soldier who has been trained and I see my colonel
Charlie.
being treated like this by criminals,
No.
are you telling me that I'll have the courage to fight? So I think that the state must not see this as, just another thing. And I think I'm calling on Parliament, the leader, Ayariga. He is the one who led that conversation around the role of MPs in the galamsey fight. He cannot tell me he has not seen this video.
Here's what I can do for you. I can use my skills
Thank
you.
to draft for you
Yeah.
a petition. Which petition, with your relationship with the Honorable Maya Bayariga, maybe the member of, you can go and present it to
A
them.
petition.
Yeah.
Yes. And then let's hope that something meaningful will come out.
No, but we've done this before. Bernard, I remember holding the microphone when you were presenting a petition to Honorable Oseche Mensah. We were very excited.
That was 2017.
Exactly.
And we have to keep doing it.
Okay.
But I feel like the point is that I think we just summarized. The NIMOS itself must come out and tell us if the details as recorded. We have seen a short video and we've read various narrations. The NIMOS owes it to itself to come out and tell us the facts of the case. The Ghana police must also give us the account of this case, as should the military. And of course, we need the member of parliament for a Sutufi North to also come out and clear the air, because no video has actually shown him, but it's been reported likely that he was the one who incited the people.